Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of Iron Port, the program that has been specifically designed to bring Ghana's ports and maritime industry closer to you. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, GOIL, PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. Iron Port is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, the transit trade is a business segment that is very dear to the heart of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. That is why the organization embarks on periodic trade missions to the landlocked countries of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Last week, the organization led a massive delegation to the capital of Burkina Faso, that is Ouagadougou. The agenda was clear and simple: to ascertain ways to improve the transit trade so as to bring in more volumes through our ports. Upcoming will be some stories and excerpts from that particular trade mission, which will follow with a studio discussion. Take a listen.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has successfully completed a 5-day trade mission to the capital of Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou, to woo economic operators in that landlocked country. The trade mission forms part of efforts by the Port Authority to increase transit volumes that come through the ports of Ghana. The high-powered delegation was led by a board member of GPHA, who is the president of the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Clement Osayamwakom. The delegation comprised the Director General of GPHA, Michael Luguje, the Commissioner of Customs, Alhaji Seidu Idrisu Idisa, Commissioner of Police in charge of General Services, Enoch Bediakun, the Director of Port of Tema, Sandro Poku, the Director of Port of Takrade, Pitamo Bediakun, and the Director in charge of the Port of Keta project, Dr. Alexander Edusei. The team was also made up of representatives from the Ghana Shippers Authority, State Insurance Company, Amaris Terminal, Haas Logistics, JAP2, and Save Bonds Terminal. Speaking at a forum, the leader of the delegation, Clement Osayamwakom, said Ghana's ports have seen massive improvements in recent times. Apart from the excellent relationship both countries enjoy at the macro level, he noted that the Port Authority has also had a very good and fruitful relationship with the business community and economic operators of Burkina Faso over many years.
As a business entity mindful of the fierce competition we are confronted with, ours is to continue to strategize and upgrade our ports to give you efficient services and competitive rates, because that is the only attraction for the businessmen or women.
The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Luguje, said transit traffic through Ghana's ports has increased from 500 tons in 1994 to 1.1 million tons currently. He said the Port Authority remains committed towards ensuring that an enabling environment is created for transit trade to thrive.
Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority appreciates Burkina Faso for patronizing our ports and our corridor. On our records, Burkina Faso is the leading transit landlord country that uses our ports among the three. And we are happy to note that in Burkina Faso's records, Ghana's corridor is number 2 among the 3 corridors. And we are working very hard to ensure that we move to the number 1 position. But we can't do that alone without the continuous patronage and increased patronage of Burkina shippers, importers and exporters.
The Commissioner of Customs Division of GRA, Alhaji Seidu Idisa, said his outfit is committed to ensuring that they facilitated trade for compliant traders. He said customs has started taking steps to ensure that transit goods are not auctioned unlawfully.
For us in customs, we always have what we call the custom to customs cooperation, and we are very concerned about making sure that authorized economic operators are not hindered in any way. On the issue of auctioning of goods, we have started consulting even at the internal level how we can prevent such unlawful ones from taking place.
The Commissioner of Police in charge of General Services, Enoch Bediakun, who represented the Inspector General of Police, said the police administration has introduced snap checkpoints on the Ghanaian corridor to curb armed robbery, but not to frustrate transitors.
We therefore deploy the snap check system, whereby we put snap checks at reasonable intervals along our highways. This was made to deter armed robbery, and even if it should occur, there will be an immediate response from the police. Now we can say without fear that highway robberies in Ghana had gone down drastically.
The representative of the Director General of the Burkina Shippers Council said Ghana's corridor is one of the important corridors as it registered a significant number of transit trade to Burkina Faso in 2023. He called on the Port Authority to work hand in hand with the economic operators to boost the transit trade. The Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority has put in place some measures to cushion economic operators in Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger who import through the ports of Ghana. The measures are aimed at encouraging more transit cargo through the ports of Ghana and also reducing costs at the port. Disclosing the measures to the economic operators in Burkina Faso capital Ouagadougou, the General Manager of Marketing and Corporate Affairs, Esther Jebidonko, disclosed that GPHA has hedged the fluctuation between the dollar and the cedi for the transit trade. Mrs. Jebidonko said another step the Port Authority has taken to relieve the transitors as far as cost is concerned is the volume-based rebate. She also stated that the number of rent-free days for dangerous cargo has been considered by the authority.
So the 5 days rent-free period was a problem for them. They've been complaining all this year. But because we want our partnership to grow, we have considered and we have made it 10 days now.
According to her, the Port Authority continues to satisfy its transit customers by providing land and warehouses for them so they can plan better. She said the ports of Tema and Takrade have drafts that can take any kind of vessels for all cargo types and urge the economic operators to use them for their imports. In order to improve service delivery to them, she averred that the Port Authority has procured equipment to improve the delivery of cargo to them.
So we have brought in those equipments that we use to deliver the cargo to them. We have tele-trucks. In recent time, the Port Authority brought in 27 tele-trucks, 2 mobile cranes. We are also expecting 10 top lifters. Those are our technical terms, but just to let you know that we are making the effort to increase the equipments that we have to deliver cargo to you.
She stated that the integrated customs management system, which is being operated by Ghana Link at the ports, is facilitating the clearance of goods to them. The Port Authority, she added, has provided 2 truck parks for the transitors to park there and complete their documentation in Tema and Paga.
Yes, Mr. Khalid, I just wanted to find out from you your candid opinion about transit trade in Ghana. What's the state of transit trade in our country?
Well, transit trade in our country for the past 5 years, at least, if I don't want to go back into history, as far as the volumes are concerned, is more or less nothing than what I call stagnation.
Right.
Yeah. You know, we've heard that we started this business far way back in 2003 or so. That was about 20 years ago.
Yes.
Yes. And since then, we have seen gradual growth in the transit business. But as we hit 1 million mark, we stagnated.
Where did we hit the 1 million mark? When did we hit the 1 million mark?
1 million mark around 2018 or so.
2018?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And since then, we've been hovering around 1 million mark. Yes. And we have not crossed up to 1.5, not even talk about 2 million tons. Tons, yes, measured in tons. But container traffic has also not hit 100,000 TEUs yet. Yes. In 2021, we thought we were going to hit the 100,000 mark because we saw cargo traffic increase through the port. But still, we did about 90,000 TEUs. Yes. So traffic-wise, we are stagnating. And we are where we are because of the stiff competition.
Right.
And perhaps I must say also that maybe as a nation, we are not fully prepared for transit. Because if you look at our transit infrastructure, apart from the Port Authority that is doing well to improve infrastructure in the port to benefit the captive cargo that comes to Ghana and then the transit cargo that goes to the landlocked countries, the other areas are still not seeing any significant improvement. Right. If you look at our road network, I don't know of any of our international routes that is of high standards. And we have not been able to use rail transport for transit. And unfortunately, we have also not harnessed the full potential of our inland waterways. You could see that we are struggling with that infrastructure. Absolutely. And when you look at also the regime, the the kind of protocol for border crossing. You know, I am told when we went to Burkina that we don't have a single border post Burkina base. But to achieve your objectives in transit trade as a port authority and as a nation, you definitely would have to have a single border post where it acts like a one-stop shop. Both the Burkinabés and the Ghanaians would do all their checks at that point. And then when the cargo leaves that point, there's no need to check again. You cannot check at Ghana's border, and then you just cross some 15, 20 meters away, and then you are being checked again. What are the protocols there? There's no protocols. And when you look at also the legal regime, we have the legal and the tax regime. I think we have not been able to isolate the issue of transit because we are concerned about this continued auctioning of transit cargo. And when the law is being interpreted, you are told that that is what the law says. But can it give the transit business a kind of priority over the local cargo? Because this is a business we're actually looking for because they have options and they can move anywhere because we have neighbors. Our neighbors are also waiting to handle such cargo. So if the law says, for instance, a vehicle that spends 60 days has to be confiscated and disposed of, should we also take that blanket 60 days and apply it to transit? Is that the case? But that is what we do because the legal regime did not distinguish transit.
Well, it should be applicable.
Exactly. And when you look at also the tax regimes in terms of VAT, we are using what we call the domicile rule, that once the services is provided within the shores of Ghana, then that value addition should attract VAT. Yes, that is true. The services is provided within the shores of Ghana. But will you be able to isolate transit?
No.
Because those of us who had the opportunity to travel, sometimes you buy something in London. When you get to the airport, you are told, go to the VAT center and reclaim. Be able to reclaim. We have to give them some concession. So when we box up everything like this, it really affects the state of our transit business. And for me, it is not surprising that we are struggling to grow this business because all these things act as impediments to the business.
But let me come to Mr. Musa and find out from you where you took part in transport sessions, during the, trade mission. I just want to find out from you some of the concerns that were raised. Because here tonight, that's one of the issues we are supposed to address. Some of the concerns of our transitors. What are their problems? What are their challenges? What did they tell you when you went for these sessions?
Yes, in our interactions with the transporters, specifically the FETRB and then UCRB, yes, they brought out a number of issues. These issues generally centered around the cost associated, delays and cost associated with the delays in the enforcement of our road traffic governance regulations by the state institutions. In specific terms, they mentioned the issues of multiplicity of barriers, police barriers, as a major concern. In one of our conversations, one participant even mentioned as many as 80 barriers on the corridor from Tema to Paga. And this is a major concern. They also brought up the issues of laissez-passer that this process normally takes too long. Sometimes.
What is laissez-passer?
It's an undertaking sort of that is given for foreign trucks that are seeking to enter the country.
Right.
And pay the custom.
Kind of like a permit.
Yes, for them to come here. And per the custom regulations, as further explained by the commissioner, yes, this permit is supposed to be given for a period of up to about 90 days.
All right, 3 months. That's a
yes, for 3 months. But for some reason, it's given for 30 days here. And the complaint, beyond the fact that this process is painfully slow for them, that when you are given the 30 days and you have to exit within the validity period, you are still not allowed to reuse the same laissez-passer, which was an issue. And the fact that if it expires, you need to go back to our borders to have it renewed, added to their frustration in this process. The issue of the axle load also came up to the extent that our axle control stations do not seem to be harmonized, do not seem to be in sync in the kind of readings that they give.
Right.
To the extent that sometimes you have the reading from the port different from the reading, probably, especially the reading in Tadiesu. In Tadiesu, there's this mobile van that is there, and that is a major source of worry for our transitors. And they also mentioned harassment. And beyond the multiplicity of the borders, they talked about the demand for illicit payment by our uniformed officers. These are all things that go to add to the cost for, the transitors. And incidentally, these are issues that we as a union are quite familiar with. These are issues that we have engaged the relevant authorities at various levels on. And I believe that for them to have come up in the presence of such a high-powered delegation, the IGP of the Ghana Police Service was present, the Commissioner of Customs was also present, they heard it. So those of us who go for such discussions, we think this has given us a fresh opportunity to further tweak the arrangement to ensure that we take away these bottlenecks.
Right.
Because once these things are taken care of, you can be sure that we will definitely be the leading transit hub in the sub-region.
All right, now let us take a few comments from the subjects we have just discussed after we go on break, and then we'll be back with more news. Stay tuned. Hello, Iron Port. My name is Humu in Tema. Mr. Nu mentioned that the transit trade provides employment for teeming youth who provide services at the transit terminal in Tema. May we know some of these services he speaks of?
You know, the transit terminal in the port of Tema is dedicated for handling transit cargo, especially the containerized cargo. So when we have containerized cargo to handle, that is strip the container, and then load the trucks and lash.
Yes.
We also go out to pick labor from Ghana Dock Labor Company.
Yes.
So these youth who are unemployed and perhaps will not even have daily bread, go and register at Ghana Dock Labor.
Right.
And when we need their service, go to Dock Labor and pick them.
Yes.
Come to and work in the port and get their daily bread.
Guys, now I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I dey come.
Shut up!
Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Ron 95.
Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Cut him. Hey! Go for mommy.
Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Goyle, good energy.
Goyle, electricity. Then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back from the break, viewers. Now let us take our local news segment. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has taken its commitment to the Green Ghana project a notch higher. In addition to planting 1,234 trees within the Tema Port Enclave, the authority has inaugurated a GPHA Green Clubs Association. The GPHA Green Clubs concept was adopted in partnership with Coastal Conservancy Organization and with support from the Ghana Education Service. The Green Clubs will help provide students from participating schools the opportunity to learn more about the environment and its associated issues while empowering them to make positive change. Members of the environmental clubs in the selected basic schools in Tema will participate in environmental protection, preservation, and conservation activities such as tree planting. The launch of the Green Clubs was met with enthusiasm from the students present, who threw their support behind this exciting initiative. Speaking at the launch on behalf of the Director General of GPHA, the General Manager in charge of Estate and Environment, James Benjamin Gazy, intimated that the overreaching goal of this initiative is to create a new generation of enlightened citizens and future leaders who are environmentally conscious.
As we inaugurate these groups, we pray that you get a right direction, so you grow with this culture of environmental care and affect others as well.
The chairman of Coastal Conservancy Organization, Justice Lionel Eshen, lauded GPHA for the support shown the Urban Green Spaces Development Program, which seeks to preserve the natural areas and reduce the carbon footprint within the city.
Financing for climate activities, especially in Africa, is not very encouraging. Coastal Conservancy Organization is hereby inviting businesses and industries within Accra and Tema to emulate Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority's initiative and become partners to support the redevelopment of urban green spaces within Accra and Tema. The urgency to act is now.
Let us now move on to the global stage and pick a few international shipping and maritime related news. Danish shipping major AP Moller Maersk has decided to install Starlink, the pioneering satellite internet constellation developed by Elon Musk's SpaceX, on its fleet. The agreement comes after a successful pilot phase where crew members on more than 30 Maersk vessels have had the opportunity to test the Starlink technology. Now, the ship owner will install Starlink on board 330 container ships, which enables high-speed internet with speeds over 200 megabits per second. The service is also a leap forward in terms of internet speed and latency, which will bring significant benefit in terms of both crew welfare and business impact. It's now time for the Word of the Day segment, where we introduce words, phrases, jargons, and terminologies that we often use in this industry so you can get familiar with them. Today, we'll tell you what the feeder service is. A feeder service is a transport service whereby loaded or empty containers in a regional area are transferred to a mothership for a long-haul ocean voyage or vice versa. Let us now take a look at the schedule of vessels that have berth in the ports of Tema and Takrade and at the anchorages of both ports and those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. This is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Iron Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, all Iron Port content can be found on our YouTube channel as well as all our social media handles at Iron Port. Please subscribe, follow us, give us a like and share our videos. Thank you for watching.